you have to get a lot of practical experience. And how you get that is you have to encourage people to have a breech birth, and then you have to allow and share those births with each other as much as you can, because that's how you learn, and that's how you know it's safe. And that's because doing is much more important than just learning theory. And the opportunity to do is what I think we need to do more sharing on that. Yes, there's certain breaches that I have rules for, that to make the birth safe. One of them is educating the woman. That's what a midwife should do. She needs to educate the mom, give her some choices, have the mom do some homework, have her realize that maybe she should have her breech baby standing up. Maybe she'd have her breech baby on her hands and knees. All the options that would maybe facilitate the birth, not just lying on your back, and not just depending on the midwife or the doctor to do all the maneuvers, that a mother can aid herself. She has to have confidence in the process, of course. If the midwife is nervous and the doctor's nervous and the mother's nervous, then it's something that nobody should do. You need to do it with confidence, relaxation, and caring. And sometimes that, again, I just have to say, you have to go to those births. You have to get the opportunity to be present at the moment and to see how it was handled and how it was done. So you could watch a lot of things on YouTube. If you can't see them if you watch, the mind is a funny thing. If you see something over and over and over and over again, pretty soon you adapt and you get confidence in it. So if the best you can do is to watch a bunch of breech births on video on YouTube, that's how you're going to gain your experience. And that's how we learn things. There's only two ways to learn things. One of them is constant spaced repetition. So if you continually watch a lot of breech births over and over and over, different ones, different situations, then you will gain that confidence. I don't really know how else to. I know you've had training in the maneuvers. I know you've had training in the process. I know you understand how the pelvis works. But to gain confidence, you need to see how wonderful and how babies just slide out most of the time. You will run into a problem maybe 1% of the time, even with a breech. And maybe you also could learn how to turn a breech. If you're not confident to really do a breech, or the mother doesn't want to do one, you could learn then the maneuvers on undoing an external version. So all I can tell you is become involved to evolve. The only way you're going to be confident doing breech is to become involved in watching them, attending them, or seeing them. The same thing with twins. When you have twins, you have to understand, maybe you don't do twins right away, but if there's a twin birth in your area, try to find a way that you can attend so that you can share. You have to educate the mom. She has to want to have her twins vaginally. Some mothers, they don't. They don't want to. You may want her success or her a better birth, maybe more than she does, because she's fearful. The biggest job of being a midwife is to educate and help your mother gain confidence in herself. She has to have confidence in herself, and in her heart, she has to have that this is what she wants to do. And then you have to find a way to help her do it. And that's where your confidence comes in as a midwife. I really, I do twins. I've done twins underwater births. I've done twins, on hands and knees. I've done twins with baby head down, and one was breech. I've had to turn babies, but I didn't jump in and do all that by myself. I did it again with an older midwife or with a doctor that has experience with it, and I attended births. And by doing that, I gained the confidence to do it. There's no, I can't, you know, it's like riding a bicycle. You can see somebody ride a bicycle and you can fall off the bicycle 3 or 4 times, but you have to learn to do it yourself. And you gain confidence by hanging out with a more experienced person and sharing their births. You have to learn to share with each other. There's no competition. The joy of being a midwife is that we help each other, that we enable the mother to feel confident, that we enable each other to feel confident. Maybe I should just open this up to questions and tell me about some of your experiences that you've had or that you would like to share with everybody so we can all learn. Can someone give me some questions?
Yeah, very good idea. If you have any questions, you can write in chat box, or you can turn on your camera and ask to give you access for your voice to ask by your video. It is a fantastic time to share your experience. Jeff Johnson has experienced more than 40 years, and I, as her junior student, more than 20 years. So we were engaged with these twins and breech birth hands-on and tried to manage it very cool with patience and very confident. So try to share your experience. All of us as a midwife, we understand each other, and we are trying to manage our industry with our experts and sharing and learning from each other. Please, if you have any question or any experience or any doubt, you can write in the chat box and you can ask questions. In our previous classes, our midwives, they had so much fear about twins and breech birth. As you know, in some countries like Iran, India, and some Middle East countries, still breech and twins birth are not allowed to go for natural and spontaneous birth in hospitals. Because most of the OB/GYN doctors, they are not supporting this case, and they call this case as a complicated case. So the countries who running their own private birth center, they are more optimistic and they are more welcoming to do breech and twin birth. So here, we are together. We want to learn from each other how we can be independent midwives and manage these cases independently by learning from each other. If you have any idea, I know some of you had this kind of birth during your work and your experience.
Did nobody have a lady that just came to the hospital and it was too late, the baby was coming out breech? Did nobody have that? Wow.
Nobody had this experience, but we had this in Abu Dhabi and in Dubai and even in Iran. We had one twin, and it was IUFD in Karaj, in Kamali Hospital. When mother reached to the hospital, she was already 8 centimeters dilated. As I told before, most of the time we are not allowed. Sorry, I don't know. we are not allowed to accept any breech or any twins case for a normal spontaneous delivery. But because the mother was in active phase of labor and she was 8 centimeters dilated, the doctor could not manage her to send to the OT. So we tried to manage these twins on the bed, and they were IUSD actually. They were 28 weeks, very small size, and it was very easy birth without any hand and any interference. The baby delivered by its own. And we had other cases with twins, and we had twins with breech actually in Abu Dhabi hospital. When the mother reached to the hospital, she was already, the feet of the baby was in the vagina, and there were staff, nurses, and doctors were so scared because the first twin was with food. So there was no chance to send her to OT. That's why we stayed OT staff were available, but we let mother to deliver by her own and very easy without any force, any pressure. And we let the mother to deliver by her own and by her own contraction. The only thing that I found from that birth in Abu Dhabi. Sorry, voice is not clear. Okay.
We have Sarah. She has a question.
Oh,
Sarah,
yeah.
You can start your camera.
Sure. Yeah, please turn on your camera. Yeah. Yeah, so second baby, when it started for delivery of the second baby, mother contraction got off. There was no contraction for second baby. And most of the OB/GYN doctors became more stressed, and they were so tense. Why the second baby is not coming out and the contraction is off? They started some oxytocin or syntocinon induction to make mother more stimulated and get back the contraction. So this is the experience. Yeah. Yes, please. Who wants to ask question?
Sarah.
Sarah. Okay, please, Sarah. You want to ask question? No. Yes, Sarah? Okay. So I think she doesn't have question. Just okay. So in these cases, just as a case study, if you see such these mothers in your birth center, or you are called for one home birth and you see this case, what you will do? If you be lucky, your twins will be both cephalic. But if you have some chance to experience some complicated case, you will see twins with first baby as a breech presentation. So,
well,
Sarah is written, they were little, so they got born easily. Yes, baby was 28 weeks. Yeah, first twins, they're born easily. So, if you mean if the baby weight be more than that, they cannot born easily as a twins? Gail, what's your answer?
My goodness, I've had babies born that are bigger than that, my dears. Sometimes they were even bigger than the reason that they had the first C-section, and they still went on and had twins at home after a C-section. So I don't know what to say, girls. It's just, I have faith in birth, and I spent a long time catching babies with more experienced midwives. The way we train in the United States and Canada is that you are partnered with a more experienced midwife, even for home births. And remember, all my babies have been born at home. Some have been born in a birth center, which is really just a house that's been converted to a birthing facility. We don't have a doctor down the street. We don't have a doctor around the corner. We don't have an OB right next door. So when we have a mother that wants